All right, Orlbmx private practice gate session. Doing another gate here. In this gate, we got Waylon here in 8, Avery's in 7, Scott's in 6, Will's in 5, Franco's in 4, Lane's in 3. That's the Cowboy, Roger in 2, Ghost Rider, Mason out there in 1. All right, let's see who the gate winner is here. We got some fast gate starters in this one. This ought to be a good one. There's not just going to be one out on this one, I'm sure of it. I've already watched it, so I know. Coming out of the gate, first one to move. We got a couple moving at the same time. Roger, Franco. Looks like Franco or maybe Roger. Will, you have your head out far, but it was just a little later again. You're kind of moving at the same time, but nah, you're moving late. Waylon's a little bit later out here too. I was looking at you guys because you guys have your head driven out far. Look at Mason out there. Mason's head down in gate 1. He's matching Rogers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders. More than half of the gate is leaning their head out far or on time, at least the way they should be. So let's see how this carries through. Looks like Franco's just leaning his head out and just a little taller. Roger's very close to the dirt. It looks like if I had to pick a winner there, though, it's going to be Franco just barely. Waylon's close. Will close right, but just a little late. You can see you're half a tire already behind Franco. Roger and Will. Mason's got his tire close, but it's not ahead of Rogers. It looks like Franco is just barely the winner there, but leaning their head out way far and out to win. Roger and Franco real close, and then valid effort, close effort there by Mason. Will and Waylon just got to go a little bit sooner or a little bit further for you guys. Will and Waylon were just a little bit late, and I think Mason, you just had to stretch your head out further for longer because I can see the gap right there that you haven't closed up yet, and Roger has closed his gap up, so he continued to get to the front of his bike. You might have left at the right time, but you just had to keep going there. So let's get into it. Gate 8's Waylon. He's got a pretty good gate. He works on it a lot. Check out Noah's little brother right there behind him. He comes forward, coming across. Everything's looking down, but he's staying tall. His hips are dropping a little bit right here and into the bike. So that's something I'm definitely going to check out with him because now you can see it poking way back out. And that makes it hard. But he's in good position in front of his seat. Coming down the hill, chest over bars, that's good. Might need some core strength to work on that. Them hips dropping. We'll see. We'll check that out later. Avery, gate 7. Avery, you have good form. You need the wrist rolled up to complete that good form. Other than that, you have a good gate stance. But coming forward, you have to, and I know it's Orlando, like I keep saying, so it's a little intimidating, but I see this in all of your gates. You got to come forward faster. More of a sense of urgency to fire out of that gate and then to come further. Come forward further, faster. More and faster. And as you get into your gate down the hill, you do a good job pulling on your bars. You're a little behind your bars right here. So you want to work on being over your bars all the way down the hill. Okay? Scott, take a look at you here. Looks like you're a little late coming out because I see Will starting to move before you, and Will has much more of a sense of an urgency to get to the front of his bike before you do, so you're real late then, my man. You're coming forward there, and you're just picking your head up, and we've seen that in other gates here. You got to work on driving your head out. See Will right next to you? That's how you want to drive your head out, far like that. Way to be an example there. Franco, Will, good examples right next to Scott there on how to get a good gate there, good form. Once you get into your pedals, it looks like you're dropping your hips a little bit, but you're really straight up and down right here, and that's not where you want to be. You want to have your chest looking down at the hill or down at the track so you can pull in those bars. You kind of disappear there, but looks like you're staying in front of your seat post there down the hill. Well, we've gone over yours by using yours as an example and then talking about your timing. Looks like you just need to work on your timing there. Everything else looks pretty good. Kind of keep your hips up pretty good so they don't like shoot out too bad. All that's pretty good. You're ready to get your wheel up, man. You and Franco are. Franco, your gate's right next to him. I don't see anything I could say about y'all's gates other than Will's timing, but it's time to pick your wheel up so you guys can take your front tire from right where it's at now and put it halfway up the gate and be a half a tire further out of the gate. And that's all that's going there. Franco, Will, that's something we need to practice for both of you. Lane, it looks like you fell asleep in the gate on that one, my man. You had a better one earlier with better timing. So just make sure you're consistent with what you're thinking and doing in the gate so that you react in the same way in the same time. Because that one was super late. The gate was down before you decided to go. Roger, this gate is much better than one I have on camera earlier that I seen. Coming forward nice and tall. All the way to the front of your bike. I see a little bit more of a bend in your arms than I would normally like, but it didn't look like you went down. Yeah, a little bit. Coming through, you look like you're set back pretty far there. But we've worked on your gate since then, so we're not going to say too much about this, but I will credit you where credit's due. And you came out on time and out the front of your bike, doing really good on this gate, coming down the hill. Can't see much of you after you disappear behind the wave, but you're still up over your bike, rowing that bike, pulling them handlebars. So that's good. And then Mason, you're in gate 1 again, so I can't see much, but I see you coming forward. And then I see you kind of disappear here because there's nobody, everybody gets in the way, so I can't even see your drive down the hill, but you got your chest looking down and everything. So if you ever see me recording gates, make sure you get in front of me unless you just don't want to be on camera. A lot of you guys are staying over in gate 1 through 3 when I was doing this. Let's see, pedal to the first jump. Let's see who pedaled. Waylon, Franco, Roger, you could probably take one more pedal in there, man. You only got one pedal in after that 30-foot line. I can't see Will. Oh, there's Will. I can see him. He's pedaling right here. Good. Avery, you need to pedal more. Scott, you need to pedal more to that first jump. Lane, you need to pedal more. Mason, you need to pedal more. All of you need to pedal all the way to that first jump. I know it's scary. I know it is. Just work on it. Going a little more each time. By the time the championship gets here, you'll be able to pedal up to it more and more. And be a little further. A lot of people still have another chance, another week or two. We have 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, but you'll have another visit, at least 1 or 2 chances to get back there to Orlando and practice some of this. Franco's on the inside, good. Waylon, working on coming over. Probably should get over a little bit more by that moment since there's a lot of space right there between him and Will, and he is second to the top of the jump, so he needs to make sure he stays there by getting to the inside and closing those other riders out, closing Will and Roger out there, but I don't think he gets over there soon enough. Let me zoom in here. Let's see who else should be moving over at this point. Scott, you should be over. Lane, you should be over. Mason, you started in lane 1. What are you doing in lane 2 or 3? Didn't you start in 1? Anyways, if you didn't, you need to get over there. Get over in 1. Nobody should be over in the middle of this tabletop at this point. Looks like Lane gets over where he should. Will couldn't really get over anymore. He had Roger on his inside. Waylon could have got over more, but maybe because it's team training he didn't. But I'm going to make sure he knows he should be right inside Franco right here. He's going up that jump all by himself. He's the only one going up the double, which means he had a whole bike length to move over. Roger's close to him, but he should be over there pressuring Roger. And Will really couldn't do much. He's next to Roger. Little bit, probably had his front tire next to him, so he couldn't get over. But right here, Scott, you need to be over. For sure. Avery needs to be over. Avery, I don't know what you were doing. You just stayed on the outside the whole time. Scott moved over a little bit. That's when you should have moved over a little bit. And then he bounces back out wide. So I don't know what you guys are doing, but everybody should be on the inside going into turn 1. All right.